Hi, I'm Nirmal, and today we discuss about the theories of wages and their impact on industries. So, the economic structure has been through various theories before it could become what it is now. Theories play a very important part as they realize again and again what all has been analyzed until now and what were the reason that a particular theory is not followed in the present. Wages and productivity are a very basic and crucial part of economy. They provide the very core structure of economic policies and a framework of establishing economic stability. There have been different theories regarding the relationship um, between wages and productivity and their impact on the industries. With the change in time, the theories have evolved and have taken a form of more stabilized nature than others. So, wages are understood as monetary payment for any service or labor. Under Indian law, wages are defined in the Minimum Wages Act 1948, Section 2 4 of the Act defines wages as all remuneration which is made by monetary mood for a work done under a employment. The section provided for certain expectation as well, such as wages won't include household supplies, traveling allowances, the contribution made to PPF, etc. The wages are determined by the demand and supply in the market for labor like other prices. So productivity is defined as a mode to measure the efficiency of the products that have been used and the output they were giving the economy. It is the ratio of the output volume to the input volume of the unit. It is regarded as very important in establishing economic growth and competitiveness in the economy of the country. The utilization of the input processes and assuring that the output received is maximum determines the productivity of the unit. Theories of wages. So, subsistences theory of wages. So, this theory is also known as the iron law of wages or the brazen law of wages, first formulated by the physiocrats. It was later developed by a German economist, Lassalle. The father of the economy, Adam Smith, has also mentioned such theory in his book, The Wealth of Nations, where he states that wages which are be paid to workers should be enough so that they can live and support their family. David Ricardo is considered as one of the best uh, exponents of the theory, and his contributions helped in developing this theory. Under the theory of exploitation, Karl Marx also made it as basis. The theory states that wages that are provided to a laborer should be a payment that is just sufficient to satisfy the necessities of life. That determines that there is a substance level of payment which should be followed and the wages should be given according to the same. Without exceeding such limit, it was held by its components that in a case whether the wages are lower than the given substance level, there will be a fall of labor supply due to decline in population and it will lead to a rise in wages, which will also lead a decline in supply. Moreover, if the wages are higher than the subsistence level, the labor supply will increase, which eventually will lead to lower wages. Thus, this theory stretched upon the maintenance of a subsistence level so that wages remain fixed at such a level and there is no eventual situation of higher or lower wages. David Ricardo explains two assumptions which have been taken in this theory. First is that the food production is subject to the law of diminishing returns, and second, that population increases at a faster rate. However, this theory could not hold any stand in a practical sense. There were many theories which made it nearly impossible to acknowledge for a longer period of time. In this industrial sector of country, there are not just one but many types of employment, and thus even the wages deemed to the different for such different employment. This theory does not consider the same and is based on uniformity of wages all over the industry, which is not practical. Criticism has also been laid down that this theory only takes into consideration the supply of the market and ignores the demand, which is crucial because supply depends on demands in a market, and even in case of wages the demand can make a huge difference in the supply. This theory is also criticized because it is based purely on the theory of population, which does not really apply every time. An assumption has been taken that the increase in wages will result in an increase in the population of the country, which might not be true for many developed countries. In developed countries, such as a rise in wages results in an increase in the standard of living, and thus this theory does not apply in every situations. Furthermore, it is also criticized that this theory also holds true for a long period of time but does not give any particulars or results in a short time or in a year. This makes it difficult to analyze the theory, especially on an industrial level, which where such calculations become very important. So, standard of living theory of wages. Now we discuss about this. It came in the late 19th century and refined an subsistence theory of wages. It related the wages of the workers to the standard of living and stated that wages should be determined by the standard of living of the workers and not by subsistence margin. The theory seemed to have refined the previous theory, but it holds no good, as the dependency on the standard of living could vary from person to person, and it could not be regarded as a strong grid to measure wages. It also focused only on the supply part and did not consider the demand in the market. The standard of living of a worker could change from time to time, and moreover, this theory was impractical and very indirect because the workers could not get high wages just because they had a high standard of living. The output in productivity should also be there to increase such wages. Now we discuss about the wage fund theory of wages. The theory's biggest criticism came from the trade unions in the industries alongside the theories of Adam Smith, David Ricardo, J.S. Mill propounded this theory. This theory stated that wages are dependent upon the proportion between the population and the capital. A part of the capital is kept aside for the sole purpose of wages, and the determinant is the population to calculate the wages. Populations under this theory means the laborers or worker class, and the theorists asserted that competitions in the market is affected by these two factors, capital and population. Under this theory, the capital, which was called the wage fund, was kept constant, as it was stated that if the wage fund is used for wages given to workers, it could affect the decrease the capital of productions, equipment or good, and ultimately decrease in wages as well. Thus, wage fund is kept constant, and so if the wages are to be increased, it results in a decline in population, and if the population is increased, then the wages will decrease. There is an inverse relationship between the two. The theory is giving a mathematical dimensions, wages equal to wage fund and populations. The theory was seen as an attack and dysfunctioning of the trade union in the industries, as trade unions do not have any control over the populations in the industry. It is impossible for them to raise wages without reducing the number of workers. Thus, it binds them under the decisions of the industry, which was a huge blow to the whole purpose of the trade unions. This is not only issue with this theory. The wage fund, which is supposed to retain constant, is not defined under this theory, and thus that constitutes the whole capital is not defined. Further, the quality of workers has been compromised, as it takes a relations between wages and populations without realizing that the quality of workers as well as the quality of works can get affected if wages are raised. It also assumed that wages can only increase if there are profits. However, in the case of increasing returns, both wages and profits will increase. This theory took supply and demand in its ambit, but it has failed determining the wages rate, and thus compromising the freedom and bargaining power of trade unions. So now we discuss about the surplus value theory of wages. Karl Marx propounded this theory. He deviated from the subsistence theory of wages and stated that the wages are drawn to the subsistence levels not because of the populations but because of the employment laborers. He stated that for capitalists, the workers are a mere instrument in gaining capital, and in case where a laborer is working for extra productivity, there is a surplus value that is generated. It add to capital of the industry, which goes back to the owner. So now, bargaining theory of wages. The theory explains that wages depends upon the bargaining power of the workers. John Davidson in his books Bargaining the Theory Wages propounded this theory and stated that there are various factors which influence the wages in bargain of the workers and producers. Under the theory, the more workers is able to work and the more he gets paid. The works in small industries like labor for carrying goods through lorry or other transport or daily wage workers or workers employed for a specific period of time. So, marginal productivity of theory. So, it is regarded as the most satisfactory theory among all others. So, it stated theory that it was developed by J.B. Clark, and the theory stated that the wages of the workers are dependent upon the productivity of the workers. It stated that as an employer goes on employing labor according to the law of dimensioning marginal utility, the marginal product will fall, and thus the labor is employed up to a level where wages is equal to a marginal level. So, what is the conclusions of this part? There are other different theories as well which provide for various analysis and structure of wages. The marginal productivity theory has been the closest to a satisfactory theory of wages. It has its own criticism, but the features that it directly relates to the productivity of the workers make it stands out. The industries have been working quite in the same mechanism in very many places. However, it is difficult to achieve the objective due to the challenges mentioned above, but still, in a market, this theory is simpler and provides a better mechanism than the others. There are other theories such as supply and demand. There are theories as well which is purely based on the supply and demand in the market and the employment and wages of the workers according to. So, thanks for watching my videos, and my humble request is, if you like my MBA channel, please subscribe my channel and also share. Thanks a lot for your time for watching my videos.